Hey, so now we're back at the swamp property. It's raining today. Had a quick break in the weather, so I wanted to come and check the food plots here at the swamp property. As you know, this spot here behind me is the section that I shared with you guys. This was a complete failure, and you can tell we've got green growing now out here, so pretty pumped and excited about that. It looks like right down here they're already hitting a lot of the greens, those radish tops. Got something moving over here. I think it was a raccoon. But the radish tops are already getting annihilated. Even the purple top, turnip tops are already getting hit. So the greens are definitely getting hit right now. I'm gonna walk out in here where we didn't have good germination and we overseeded. And it looks pretty good. We definitely got some cereal grains popping. We do have some brassicas. So on a normal year, this would be awesome. We've got a good strip right on the edge here. This is where there was shade during the drought after we planted. And this is the only section that really got amazing germination. But you know, it's only 30 yards long and 8 yards wide. Maybe it's probably not even, it's not even 8 yards wide. It's more like 18 feet wide. So that spot looks really good. Back behind me, you can tell this sandy soil, that drought just really zapped it. We've got weeds coming. It looked better than I thought until I got out there. And there's a lot of lamb's quarter, a lot of non-planted things, some weeds coming up and such. But we've got some stuff. There's oats and rye and stuff coming up out there. Some of the brassicas are popping. Some of the ones that we seeded 2 weeks ago are this big. Some of them are actually, you know, leafing out to about the size of my palm and with fingers. So the issue though right now is there's not enough growing to withstand the browse pressure. Out in here, it's like if a deer finds one, they nip it and it's just completely annihilated because there's nothing else around it. I probably am gonna have to come back through here with some real heavy winter rye, maybe in a week or two, right before rain. Come out here and I will dump probably at least 100 to 150 pounds down out here, just to ensure that something, you know, there's a lot of seeds setting up here on some of these sandy patches. I just don't think germination is going to do very well. This is like the worst soil on the property. It sheds and drains too quick. It dries out so fast. You can kind of see the sorghum is the best right here by the truck, and then it just gradually gets worse as it gets sandier and sandier and sandier soil. So it's not a good spot. Even when they do soybeans and corn, this is usually one of the worst sections, so it makes sense. But the food plot around here, where I'm standing along this edge, and then along the southern, or it'd be the western border, there's good growth there as well. And there's also some up on the east side of things. But the center part of the food plot didn't do very good. But I'm not worried. It is what it is. We can't do anything about it now, except for come back with some winter rye later. But you know, even if that doesn't take, we've got more food here into the fall than we normally do. Usually this is an entire crop field that's harvested and is a desert of activity, except for the remnants of either the soybeans or the corn that gets left over after picking, which, depending on the quality of picking and harvesting, there's not much left these days. Now, not as much at the beginning when we hunted this farm. They used an old 2-lane corn picker and it'd leave a lot, but the new guy that farms it, his operation's much more efficient. There's a lot less grain left behind. But just wanted to give you a quick update. Not the greatest update, but hey, I'm gonna end this on a good note. We're gonna slide over to the food plot that we put in on the food, the fallow field that couldn't be planted. You can probably see just the sorghum maybe a little bit over there sticking up. I have a feeling that one's gonna have a much better result. We didn't have to overseed that with brassicas. We did here. We just kind of overseeded it a little bit 2 weeks ago with mainly fertilizer and also some why am I blanking? Cereal rye. We threw a lot of that in. I am liking, there's a lot of winter peas that are living right now, and usually those are some of the first targets of the deer. So the purple top turnips, the greens, basically the greens on the brassicas are getting hammered right now, it looks like. And I have a feeling the peas will get nailed here in a second too. So let's go check out that other food plot. All right, so I promised this one would do much better, and it's actually underwater in the section of it. Makes sense why there's one area just not growing well, but this is better soil. it held water even during the drought a little bit, or held moisture. So you can tell this food plot is doing really well. Predominantly, obviously, brassicas up in there. We've got brassicas already almost knee-high in there. It's looking really good. Surrounded by sorghum to give a little bit of a security cover coming out of this. We've got a food plot about 80 yards into these woods as well, which I'll go check out here in a second. But they can feed out into here. There's bedding on up through the northern part of this woods. But then let me show you real quick, if you haven't already seen the video that we posted a while back. Here, let me actually turn. Sorry, the audio is going to sound a little different, but you can see even on the outside here, we planted brassica in here. There's cereal grains mixed in here as well. This is basically plot topper and harvest salad mixed together. So you can tell we've got all this out here as well. And then it slowly transitions into being just cereal grain. It is very soupy out here. But then check this out. That entire path is nothing but solid cereal grains. There's some brassicas mixed in all the way out here a little bit. Those kind of peter out right around in here, but that's all cereal grains coming down here. So kind of like a pathway. There's bedding that direction. Then they can come here, visit this food source, check out the bedding up there. We've got a stand about 20 yards in front of the truck, kind of right where my finger is. And they've got this food option, a little bit of a security cutout, because all this field will eventually die down. All this stuff's pretty low already. It's dying down. All the warm season stuff is dying. This used to be a bunch of ragweed, and it's pretty much died out. So walking through this section where there's a lot of good cereal grains, it looks like, if I'm judging what it is, the oats are getting hammered right now. The rye's not as much, and the wheat's getting hit a little bit, but there's clumps of rye that's just getting annihilated here. And then, like the other spot, a lot of brassica tops. Turnip tops seem to be getting hammered right now. Radish tops, I see some, I think that's Essex rape, I think, is what's in there as well. Peas are getting hit. They're not really able to keep going. But it's looking good, guys. I'm happy with this turnout. Let's go check out the plot inside the field and see what's happening, or inside the woods, and see what's happening in there. So I'm walking into that inner food plot, haven't looked yet. I fully expect this to be underwater. This section holds water. It needs to be dry. There's years we can't even get something in here. So, but it's looking good, guys. There we go. It's a pretty good food plot. So we do not have a bow shot to this plot. We've never hunted this plot. It's always been kind of a safe spot. I've shot a buck coming down to it. There used to be a little micro plot over there. It got too tough to plant in here just because of all the water. I'm actually shocked it's doing as well as it is right now. We've had so much rain the last week, but it was drought conditions before that, so it makes sense. But I've got brassicas as tall as my knees in here. A lot of grasses, though, did come up. Did not plant those. But all in all, guys, I'm very happy with this. I mean, this is basically a muck food plot. And I would call that a success. So this is definitely the hardest spot to plant usually. We got water standing over there. I'm sure if I walked out there, I'd slosh around a little bit. So hopefully it'll drain off a little bit. We just won't stop getting rain, which we used to complain we weren't getting enough. That's why that one food plot turned out terrible. But I'm gonna check a camera we got right over here somewhere. Oh, right here. So, and get out of here. God bless.